And hello everybody, welcome back to British Stand. I'm Dan, your host. Today we're going to be going over the Metropolitan Police's controversial response to the investigation into Starmer's alleged COVID breaches. Now, again, as stated earlier on today, we did a live stream as it was reported, of course, that Kemi Badenoch was, of course, going to has called the Metropolitan Police to investigate whether Keir Starmer broke the law over his voice coach meeting during lockdown on December 24th, 2020. Now, whilst that sounds all well and good, during that live stream a couple of hours ago, I did say, don't hold your breath. Probably nothing will come of it. And a couple of hours later, we have now, of course, got a response from the Metropolitan Police. Well, a spokesman from them, and it looks like Starmer won't be investigated after all. This is what has been said. So, a spokesman from the Metropolitan Police said, we can confirm that we have received a report. The specific legalisation that would be used by police forces dealing with alleged offences during COVID has a 3-year deadline for initiating proceedings. As this alleged incident falls outside of this time frame, no actions will be taken. So, in short, Keir Starmer has gotten away with it entirely. Despite your thoughts or whatever you think with regard to the situation, he is not going to be investigated on the matter, and it's going to remain exactly how it is. Now, for those of you that want to remember, of course, what happened earlier on today, despite Keir Starmer not necessarily denying that he broke lockdown rules in Parliament, nothing's going to happen to the Prime Minister, despite the outrage. Remember, let's give a reminder of what he said earlier on today.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know that, like everyone in the House, the Prime Minister is an honourable member. On that basis, can you repeat his assurances that all rules were followed while the country was in Tier 4 lockdown in December 2020, not just by him, but as his team as well, but also his voice coach, Leona Mellinger?
Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, in December 2020, I was in my office working on the expected Brexit deal. With my team, we had to analyse the deal as it came in at speed, prepare and deliver a live statement at speed on one of the most important issues for our country in recent years. That's what I was doing. What were they doing? Suitcases of booze into Downing Street, partying and fighting, vomiting up the walls, leaving the cleaners to remove red wine stains. That's the difference. I was working, they were partying.
Releasing.
So despite Starmer not denying breaking the rules, he cannot be investigated, and he probably knew that. That's been past 3 years now, and again, no investigation is going to happen into Keir Starmer, despite Kemi Badenoch calling for the Metropolitan Police to investigate whether he did broke the rules. I mean, you can't make that up, can you, really? I knew nothing was going to happen with regard to Keir. I knew he wasn't going to be getting investigated, or if he was going to be getting investigated, I knew that he would probably get off of it and that he would still remain the Prime Minister regardless. But either way, the damage is done. The damage is done for Keir Starmer at this moment in time, and surely it's only a matter of time until the next scandal creeps its head up. And again, the guy's up to his eyeballs in scandals at this moment in time. And again, it's just super unfortunate, but you could probably have seen this coming most certainly from the Metropolitan Police, despite people calling for an investigation into him. But guys, as always, do let me know your thoughts on what you think with regard to the Metropolitan Police not doing anything about this incident down there in the comment section below. Again, because it's been 3 years or over 3 years, they cannot investigate Keir Starmer. Outrageous, because it's certainly there in terms of, I think that if it was within that 3-year bracket, there certainly would have been a claim for him to have been to have been guilty of this, because it's clear as day in terms of the facts that were on the table that, you know, his voice coach, if you want to call her that, wasn't a key worker and didn't have the right during that time in December of 2020 to travel from Tier 3 to Tier 4, which London was in at the time. And it is also a fact that Keir Starmer went to Labour HQ to meet her. So, again, I think he would have been guilty. I think he would have been confirmed that he broke lockdown rules. And to be fair, he didn't deny it today at all. So I know he thinks he's not necessarily in the right, but it doesn't matter anyway because nothing is going to come of it. I am slightly disappointed in Kemi Badenoch today. She didn't use the opportunity to really grill into him, although she did call for the investigation following its conclusion. Guys, I won't keep you long. Do let me know your thoughts on this news with regards to the Met Police, his response down there in the comment section below. Let's take some comments. Goliath says, a very quick decision. I mean, I think that's the rule they've obviously got in place, that they can't investigate it after 3 years. So I suppose it was a pretty default response from the Metropolitan Police, despite those reports coming in earlier on today. But again, nothing going to happen. Absolutely nothing going to happen. He's got away with it. But are you surprised? Amanda Bell says another highlight to his hypocrisy. Again, the guy is a massive walking, talking hypocrite. This man was the person back in 2020 from what I remember. And I mean, the video footage shows it. He was the one championing it. He was the one calling for Boris Johnson's head. He was the one wanting and the harsher restrictions during COVID. And on 2 occasions, whilst once he didn't get proven as guilty for. But this one, certainly, there is sufficient evidence, I suppose, to state that he had broken lockdown rules. He was the one that was also not abiding by the laws that he so long championed for during the lockdown situation. So it's a shame, because by his own book, he should be resigning from his job. But again, it's different when he's in power, isn't it? He was sweating like a sinner on Judgment Day having to answer those questions. I don't think he answers any questions, regardless. I mean, he didn't really answer that question either, did he? He didn't answer whether he did something right or whether he did something wrong. He just said, oh, it was nothing like the Tories. The Tories came in with suitcases with booze and red wines on the carpet. So it was always deflection with him. Again, earlier on today, he was confronted by the SNP minister as well. I think some of the Reform MPs, loads of people call him out. Loads of people say stuff to him, but he never answers to answer the questions. So again, I've said it so many times. We do need a bit of a reform in terms of Prime Minister's questions and how it actually works, because we don't actually get any answers during Prime Minister's questions. So what the heck's the point in it? Mike says, amazing that the banter and laughing in there while the country is going to hell in a handbasket. Again, it's just like it's almost like WWF, you know, where the it looks like it's a show, you know, it's a show, but behind closed doors they're probably all shaking hands and going, "What a show tonight!" Do you reckon that was a good one? I think there's no doubt that they obviously speak to each other behind closed doors afterwards, following that Prime Minister's questions. It's like, yeah, WWE or WWF or whatever you want to call it. In terms of it, they're just actors for the day, I suppose. That's the way I see it anyway with regards to Parliament. But guys, I'm not going to keep you long anyway. I just wanted to provide you with this update on the Metropolitan Police. Of course, if you are just tuning in to conclude, despite Kemi Badenoch, of course, asking or calling for the Metropolitan Police to launch an investigation into Keir Starmer's alleged COVID breaches, they have come back hours later stating that it's too much time has passed and they won't be able to do that and are not going to be doing an investigation into the Prime Minister. As always, let's carry on the conversation down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think on this. And as always, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more British content. And I'll see you all in the